And here we go once again. Now, this is Chapter 4, Video 1, called Chrome Administration or Chrome Admin, and there's a list that I'm about to work through on screen. We're talking about learning Google Earth Studio, and for some context, Google Earth Studio works inside of Google's Chrome browser, and that's quite important really if we understand and you're absolutely brand new to this. And if I just get this image and order it and send it backwards, what I'm trying to get to is that quite honestly you've got Google Chrome browser and we're trying to work inside that URL. So quite honestly, I think to represent it, you're talking about Google Earth Studio being inside of Chrome, and I know that's obvious to people who are mega used to this, but those who are new or young or just new to everything, and starting out may use Chrome quite a lot and not really pay, fair enough, attention to what is actually going on inside, especially if it's going wrong. So let's work through this list, and this is especially designed for those people who are new or actually finding this video because something's gone actually wrong. So what I suggest you do, and I'll work them through, is in Chrome, and I run two versions of Chrome, Chrome Beta and regular Chrome. You'll see the version numbers at the bottom. Make sure that you have got the latest version, and the way to check that is very simple. Top right menu, help, and then about Chrome, and just wait for a couple of seconds and see what happens. And you'll see that this is opened up and it said version 73. If something goes wrong and you have to feed back to a forum, then knowing your version would be really useful. So I'm on Windows 10, I'm on a 64-bit Windows 10, and I run the two. You can now run Beta and regular Chrome side by side. Beta gives you an advanced feature to some extra bits and bobs that you might like or don't care less about. The point of it is that when things work, it's lovely. So Task Manager. This is a tip here, and these are all tips about CPU and memory use. So what does that actually mean? If you go on to, and I'll demonstrate this in a moment, right click anywhere in the address bar here, and you'll see Task Manager. Open it up, and this is a list from just a few minutes ago of where my CPU was running at these levels. So in other words, a percentage on the column where I'm indicating with the crosshair thing, and about what is running. This is important when things are running slowly and you might have, like Gmail, a Gmail tab open, and sometimes that is a nightmare because it takes up so much memory for doing absolutely nothing. Or you might have actually had a tab or a window open and you've just forgotten about it. So let's watch this right now. If I go up to Task Manager Live right now, you can see that the browser CPU processes, I've got slides open of course, and a few other fiddly things here, where notice especially the tab which is Google Earth Studio. It's quite small. It's got 69 megabytes of information doing very, very little because I am not using that tab. And that will go up to 1, 2, 3 gigabytes really, really quickly when you start to use it. So what else is on the list? These are just tips, remember. If things go really badly, and you'll notice at the top here, I've got a password alert, a picture-in-picture, a couple of extensions. Some people run far too many extensions, and that makes things go really, really slow. So my tip, if Google Earth Studio is not working or anything else, then open a fresh version of the Chrome browser Incognito. That means there's no cache and there's no cookies. The way you do that is top right menu, and it just says New Incognito Window, Control-Shift-N. So that is a tip that's been done. Inspect to see the console. What on earth does that actually mean? What it means is that if you go up here, and these are just tips and real fast tips without getting really, really into it, but when I say into it, your objective through this series is to use Google Earth Studio, not so much to actually be some kind of Chrome developer. So if I opened up the developers console, which is this one here, you'll see hopefully at the bottom that there are no red errors when Google Chrome Earth Studio opens up, and you'll see that there's a few failure to load. So I'm not going to say too much about that or go into it at this stage. I'm saying sometimes you can dig around in there, especially if a Google engineer asks you to. If black screen does Earth web work, when I say a black screen, what I actually mean is when you first open Google Earth Studio, it will load up and it will be a black screen. Sometimes for some people it never loads and has the nice stars going by like you can see in the background. There's a little like a left to right animation. Sometimes all that happens is the black screen, it doesn't get any further than that. And sometimes you can have a look into the settings, not that one, it was back one, wasn't it? That was the, yeah, you go to Chrome, I'll put the links in the box, / settings, and then, excuse me, little cough there, hardware, and you can see use hardware acceleration when available. Some people in the forum said, make sure that's turned on. You'll notice with me, it is in fact turned on. Another one here is Chrome flags. Again, if you're not sure about this, please just don't go digging in there and changing things, because Chrome is a good browser that should and does work. Sometimes people might give a tip, and that one, and it says very clearly in red here, warning, experimental features ahead. So don't touch anything if you're not sure. And if you get really badly out of sync, shall we say, with things, just reset all to default. So bottom line with this one is, the one I'm after is the override software rendering list disabled on mine. Everything is fine. Everything is fine. I've seen one of these in the forum where it says, you know, perhaps go in there and enable that. But again, if you're not sure, including me, just get out and never go back in there, hopefully ever again, because you don't need to, because things are working. So moving along much quicker, zoom equals 100%. What that means is that if using Google Earth Studio, my tip is to go up here to top right, and you'll know that it says 100% always. But sometimes if you've accidentally made things go a little bit smaller, 80 or 120, when you get to render and do things in Earth Studio on screen, it just won't look the same. So my tip is just to make sure, if you can, that this is 100%. I'm very lucky. I've got a monitor here which is 21.5 inch, 1920 by 1080 pixels high. Everything's fine. My laptop is 1366 pixels wide. So remember, pixels or dots per inch is quite useful to know when you're actually looking to something which is quite complex imagery, especially with Google Earth Studio. I think that's it, isn't it, really, on this one? Again, look, I've been talking for 7 minutes 20, but if you're mega stuck, then it might be useful. And then we would go off and open up Google Earth Studio, but not in this video, because this was just one of the series of a tip. So thanks very much, and see you in the next video.